Welcome to the Every Temple podcast. My name is Tony, and this is my co-host Janelle.
Hello.
And together we want to talk about every temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Thank you for joining us. Elder Stevenson said, "You are never lost when you can see the temple. The temple will provide direction for you and your family in a world filled with chaos. It is an eternal guidepost which will help you from getting lost in the mist of darkness." So welcome. How are you doing, Janelle?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a big event tomorrow?
Oh, it's my anniversary tomorrow.
Oh, happy anniversary. Today we're going to talk about the London Temple, which is going to be awesome. Let's start with some temple news. Toronto Temple will be rededicated at the end of the week that we're recording this.
Okay.
Like this weekend.
The open house was done a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah,
right?
so
I guess they what did they, I guess clean.
Yeah.
Kind of like, what did they do?
Just shine it up.
I guess so.
So that'll be done, and then Elder Holland's dedicating it. Did I say that?
Yeah,
Today's
that's awesome.
temple, no. The Auckland, New Zealand temple is the open house is, I think, going on or finished pretty soon. And it'll be dedicated by Elder Kieran, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Everybody loves him now.
Yeah, he's a new favorite, I think. He has a cute accent.
Yep.
So we don't usually do this, but we did talk about how every time we discuss a temple, we forget something or we learn something new. And I just wanted to go back to Hamilton, New Zealand for 1 second because we forgot something really important.
I agree.
And that is the cultural celebration that they had at each dedication of this temple. So the first one was President McKay. What they do is the Maori tribe, they send a warrior out and they offer him an item. And if he takes the item, then he's a friend. Yes. And they welcome him into the event. So they did that with President McKay, and then they did it also with President Uchtdorf at the rededication. Nice. And then they also had originally in the 50s some dances by Tongan and Samoan dancers.
Yeah, and so I love those. The celebrations to celebrate the culture there. Like, I think that's really important.
Yeah, I think they're great.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to make sure we didn't gloss over that. It was important that it happened. Yeah. And probably very beautiful. I heard a story that someone, maybe not the New Zealanders, but they gave Sister McKay a big Polynesian quilt. It was a very unique, special, big quilt. Tried to look it up and I couldn't find anything about it, but I think I've seen it at the Garden of Quilts or something. Okay. I've seen something about it. Anyway. Okay. I'm sure it's beautiful. Anything else we need to discuss?
No, but same. I always think of stuff later.
Okay, let's jump into today's temple. London, England. So I just want to briefly do some history. The first missionaries from the church arrived in England in July 1837. That was probably a big name missionary that I didn't look up who it was. But we know that all of the 12 were sent.
Parley P. Pratt. He went on a lot of missions. Yeah, probably. I don't know.
The response was so good in Preston, England, that they started a little branch there, and it is still a congregation, the oldest continuously functioning unit in the church.
What?
Since 1837.
Serious?
Yeah.
Is in Preston, England?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because it wouldn't be in Portland and it wouldn't be in Nauvoo.
No, I guess you're right.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool.
Okay. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So the land that the temple's on, I really wanted to know more about it because the temple, what do we call it? The compound includes like an old manor house, like a big
house. There were a few different buildings on there on the land. Yeah.
And I wanted to know more about it.
And beautiful gardens.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the gardens there.
Yeah.
So the land, I got to read a whole article about the land and the house, and nothing amazing came up. It wasn't like owned by somebody famous or anything, but it was really old. It was recorded in 1086 in like a census document called the Domesday Book.
Okay. I read about that and I'm like, what is this? I read Doomsday Book.
Yeah, I think it's probably supposed to be. It's probably supposed to be Doomsday. I think they said this is the law until the Doomsday. Like it was for taxation purposes. So.
Yeah, so then they started recording the purchase and sale of lands and who and for tax purposes, but also that it was the start of recording things.
Which is a great idea if you're trying to run a government. Yeah, it's good to know who owns what. So this land has been around for a very long time. It's called New Chapel Hall. Is that what you got?
Yes. New Chapel Farm. Yep.
And this old manor house has like 30 rooms, and it's been used as like an MTC and offices and apartments.
And apparently there was like a very large chicken coop that they converted into like places for people to stay. And I'm like, why don't you just
build something?
Tear it down and build a new one, but that's not what they do in England.
No, yeah. And President McKay saw that, and he's like, "We're going to use everything we can."
Did you read about the Magna Carta?
I did, but go ahead.
Okay, because I read that and I'm like, what are they talking about? So I'm learning a lot of stuff. But in the same county of Surrey.
Yes. South of England. We should say this
or temple, south of London.
Yeah, this temple is not in London. It's 25 miles south of London City, in the county Surrey.
Yes, and in the county of Surrey is where the Magna Carta was signed.
Yes.
Which Magna Carta actually is a really important document in making sure that the kings and governments are not above the law. So it makes them accountable, and it kind of so that they can't exploit their powers. And it also established lots of other like laws and rules about giving all people freedoms and rights, and especially in the justice system.
Yeah, it kind of like created civilians. Yeah. The idea was like there's kings and then there's everybody else. Right. But it's like these people, you can't just take their stuff. You can't just like plow through their land. You can't do whatever you want. They have rights. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And if they get arrested, they also have rights and all sorts of things. So yeah. Yeah. So that actually is a really important document. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, okay. It's really important. And it comes up in the dedicatory prayers as well.
Oh, nice.
So that's cool. When they built this temple, it's much like the last three Bern and New Zealand temples, where it's one big endowment room, 250 people. Yeah. And then they've divided it up since then. But it's the same kind of look. Mm-hmm. I mean, with the one steeple in the front.
Yep. Squarish.
Yeah. Yep. But it's made of, I really like the exterior of this one. It's got stone. It's got a copper steeple.
Yep. I like the
We have no idea what it looks like inside. So we can only talk about the outside.
I know. I saw some like maybe old pictures of the inside and it seemed very plain.
Interesting.
And so I think that maybe in the renovation they probably styled it up a little bit more. But the style when I saw the pictures, I think was like the
open house.
I don't know where the pictures are from.
I saw some that were like in a newspaper. And maybe. They're like black and white.
Yeah, that might have been it. Yeah. And just the furniture was very plain, but I think that was the style of the time.
Okay. Like mid-century. Yes. It's very mid-century.
Yes, era. It was very mid-century.
Yeah.
And so maybe they made it a little more fancy in the 90s.
Maybe. Yeah.
Cuz they did put new furniture in there and
stuff.
I
think they redid like everything in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. So
but kind of French.
Yeah, I really liked this. Okay, so the interior features chandeliers and cream-colored carpet centered around the celestial room, which is decorated in a French Second Empire style. So I don't know what that means, but it sounds beautiful. Yeah. And features a ceiling painted with images of the sky.
I think that's cool.
Like yeah.
Clouds or
I want to see pictures of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
So
that sounds great.
And the exterior is made with concrete. It's a concrete steel structure, but the brick is cut from it's white Portland limestone.
I know what Portland stone is now.
Okay, what?
There's an island off of Britain called Portland where they cut the stone and they put it on. So it looks like a quarried stone temple. Okay. Because that's what they want it to look like. Yeah. And it's I like it.
From the Portland Island.
Yes.
Near Britain.
And they use that on somewhere else. Was it
New
LA?
Zealand,
New Zealand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
New Zealand.
Yeah, these 4 temples, they're kind of all mixed up in my brain.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
to work through it all. Okay, President McKay he took a very personal interest in this temple, and he chose the location. It's 32 acres, and there's, like we said, a beautiful garden. There's this particular oak tree that was very old. They think it was over 450 years old.
Yeah, so it would have been growing at the time there was the first Elizabeth was Queen of England and Christopher Columbus arrived in America.
So it was older than that.
Yeah.
People call it the David O. McKay Oak, but then he was like, don't call it after me. He's like, very humble about it. Call it that.
But they still put a plaque there.
They still do. And it's got a nice little poem.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it?
I don't know. What is it?
Oh, I
don't have it.
The David O. McKay Oak, living beauty and inspiration, great strength and stability, reaching toward heaven, responsive to God's sunlight, casting friendly and comforting shade, gentle in its contribution to mankind, unmoved by disturbing winds, to be remembered.
That's beautiful.
That's nice.
That's like how I should live my life.
Yeah, reaching toward heaven.
And accepting the rays of sun of God, the things that God wants.
That's nice.
Okay, let's be like that tree.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we should throw some dates out here. It was announced in August 1953. So you see what I had to do here? I need a timeline.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Temples, these 4 temples overlapped each other a lot.
Okay.
So in 1937, LA was announced, and it didn't start construction until like 1951 or 52.
Yeah.
While it's being constructed, Bern is announced, London's announced, New Zealand's announced.
Okay.
Then Bern gets finished first in 1955. LA then gets finished in 1956. And then New Zealand and London are dedicated in 1958.
Okay.
It's just all mixed up in my brain because they all look similar.
It's going to get worse, you know.
Oh, I know. I know. It's just like when there's a set like that.
Yeah.
Same prophet, same style, same.
Yeah.
And like all over the world. I just want to know what's happening.
When we get to like the last like few years.
No. It's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
It's going to be a mess.
Multiple.
But we're going to just have to focus on one country at a time. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so the open house. What do I have here?
It was busy.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was a really big deal. It is not a convenient temple to get to. So,
yeah.
Like there's no trains nearby. So people are driving there.
Okay.
76,000 people came to the open house.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yes. And they extended it, right?
I think so. But they also had buses. They rented
they did bring people out
to help get people there. Yeah.
Okay, good.
In the first open house, that like there were thousands of people that were waiting in line to go inside, and sometimes it would rain on top of them. But anyway,
they were just
it was a very long, and the media was really positive about it. And the media is like, this is the longest line to have anybody going to church ever.
That's true, right? Especially in England or Europe even, where churches are everywhere.
Yes.
To have people line up to go into a church is kind of odd.
Yeah.
So that's true. And it did affect people in good ways. People were like, I see what's important in life.
Yeah.
It gives you perspective.
Yeah. So, because like, so up until this point, really, like we had talked about this, but people were leaving England to have the blessings of the temple. And like my family was part of that group that left because they wanted to go to the temple. Anyways, so now that they had announced it there and were building it, people started staying there and they got really excited and they started doing a lot of genealogy.
Oh, yeah.
And so they'd spend their Saturdays poring over parish records, copying cemetery inscriptions, and traveling to London to consult governmental records and all sorts of things. So they really pushed to get their genealogy figured out. I don't know how they kept all those records at that time.
Those parishes, like, they wrote everything down.
Yeah.
Kept everything.
Yeah. And they go through microfiche and microfilm and all that stuff.
Well, we're seeing all this technology growing with the church. Like,
isn't that great?
Yeah, because we talked about it, in Salt Lake and how people needed to start doing their genealogy, and they were writing letters to people in England.
Oh yeah, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, but it's just getting better and better.
We all know why the internet was invented, right?
Yep.
To do genealogy. And also the commitment of the people, of the members there, it was like intensified because they were excited. Oh, we get a temple.
Yes.
So they saw an increase in like attendance to church and tithing and inviting people and they just were, it was just a boost to the morale to have a temple being built
in the country.
Yeah.
Even the people that were way north.
Yeah.
And this, when it was built, it included like Norway and Denmark. Those were the closest people to it.
And the church, the members, the church, like the wards and stuff grew after people established themselves there, and the church grew in numbers quite a bit after that dedication.
Because people weren't moving to Provo.
Yep.
So the dedication was 6 sessions, Sunday through Tuesday. They had more general authorities of the church than had been in England since 1840. That's when all of the 12 were sent to. Yeah. So they had 8 members of the 12 come. That's when in 1848 members came. And the second day of dedication was President McKay's 85th birthday.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, that's great. I don't have much else about the dedication. So
okay, I kind of do.
And then I'll do the prayer.
Just as a side note, the way they did fundraising for the temple, but they had a lot of tithing because they retained the tithing in Britain because it couldn't be sent out of the country to America.
I think that's so interesting, but it makes sense. Yeah. You don't want your people's money to leave the country to go fund a different entity.
How do you move cash from
in the 50s,
one country to another country? Like the logistics of that. I'm like, okay. How do they?
Logistically, but also I think politically.
Yeah,
you don't want an outside church from another country to get your money. Keep the money in the place. Yeah. Anyway, so they had just been tithing had just been piling up in Britain. Really an interesting way to do things.
Yeah, that was. I'm like, that's interesting. It's a lot of things you don't think about when you think about the church developing. Yeah. It's like, well, they'd have to figure out how to do the finances in every country that they are in. And
anyway. All the paperwork and everything.
And we had talked about this on the Burn podcast, that at the groundbreaking, at the time it was called the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Now it's called the Tabernacle Choir on Temple Square. Anyways, this was their first tour, and they were there in England for the groundbreaking of that temple. So they sang at that.
That's awesome.
That's kind of fun.
And then they kept going and were at the Bairn Temple for its dedication.
Yeah, so they would have done concerts in a few different places, and the media, there was a lot of positive attention at the time because of this choir coming and everything. And I like that because my husband Bob, he's in the Tabernacle Choir. And they go on tours, and it's just really, really neat, the experiences they have in these countries. And even just at Music and the Spoken Word, 80% of the audience at Music and the Spoken Word hasn't been there before and are from many different countries.
Like there are tourists that they're coming to see that.
Or leaders of other countries, or it's amazing what the Tabernacle Choir does for missionary work and brings a positive influence into countries and gives the church a positive, and he's set apart as a musical missionary. And it's really neat to see that the Tabernacle Choir really is a missionary
tool or force.
For sure.
I wonder if they ever have bad experiences. Has he ever had a bad experience or known of anyone? Because I don't think anyone could be mad about them.
I know. It's just beautiful music. And it's
and happy
really great.
People that are willing to share it.
And music can touch people in such a different way than other things. Anyway. So that's my plug, and I just really liked that.
I love it. Thank you.
Okay, there's one more thing about the dedication before you get to the prayer.
Tell me.
Is that where you're going? Is the prayer? Okay.
But I want to hear what you got.
Okay, because this was kind of so they had done the open house, and they were going to do the dedication, and they were coordinating the final arrangements. And did you read this? And there was a severe thunderstorm. It dumped torrents of rain in the area the night before the dedication, and the local fire department was called in to pump water out of the basement of the temple.
Yikes.
And so let's see, there was a Salt Lake Temple president there, and the London Temple president, and President Hinckley, and they were all dressed in their pajamas, and they stood in waist-deep water, bailing out a stairway area that led into the temple basement. And I'm like, what the heck? That's a lot of rain.
Yeah.
And how did it get all in there? Well, I guess it seeps in, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they were bailing out the temple the night before the dedication? My gosh.
Yeah. Well, that would panic you. I would be like, I bet President Hinckley was panicked because he was kind of in charge of logistics, probably.
I should read about him because he is in a lot of these temple things, doing a lot of stuff the night before.
His biography. I can lend it to you. Yeah, he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
But let me just go back to the land that they put the temple on.
Yeah.
So they got this 32 acres of land, and President McKay picked the spot that was where tennis courts were.
Yeah.
And they were a little nervous about it because before the tennis courts or something in that area, there was a fish pond. And they were like, it might be really swampy. It might be bad. Yeah. So they drilled down to make sure to see if what's below that. And they found hard rock. Yeah. And they said the whole city of London could be built on this and it would be fine.
Okay, cool.
So it's a safe place. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
So the pond wanted to be a part of the dedication?
I guess, yeah. Fountain of light.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So in the dedication, this is September 7th through 9th, 1958, David O. McKay. He talks about a history of Protestant men in England and Europe. He says, in the Middle Ages, the church departed from Christ's teachings. Thou didst inspire honest, upright men here in Great Britain to raise their voices against corrupt practices, mingling with the denunciatory messages of Luther and Melanchthon in Germany, and Zwingli in Switzerland were the voices of George Wishart and later John Knox of Scotland. We thank thee that before the scorching flames silenced his tongue and reduced his body to ashes, thou didst permit George Wishart to glimpse that this realm shall be illuminated with the light of Christ's evangel as clearly as ever was any realm since the days of the apostles. The house of God shall be builded in it, yea, it shall not lack the very copestone. I'd never heard of this guy, George Wishart. He's a Protestant, kind of like what Martin Luther did in Germany. He's like, this church isn't quite what it should be. He was burned at the stake. He's from Scotland, so just very interesting that I think that President McKay went into that and used his prophecy about the temple.
Yeah, we have to thank all those people that tried to bring God to the people.
Yeah.
Like that. And we wouldn't have our church here today without them. So,
very true. Yeah, it's line upon line, I think. I just want to summarize some of the rest of the prayer. He talked about the Magna Carta and talked about how it was in the same county. And that also came up in the rededication in the 90s that President Hinckley did. And then he does a little bit of anti-communist stuff and then a little bit of we're grateful for the right to vote and that governments exist to help. Oh, he says that government exists for the protection of the individual, not the individual for the government.
Yeah.
So
we like freedom.
Yeah. It helps us. It helps us function. Should we talk about the renovation?
Sure.
So they closed it in the 1990, and they pretty much redid everything. They added a fourth floor. Yeah. Which is what they say they also did in Barron. Yeah. And this time we gained square footage. Now I'm starting to think that my research in Barron was wrong.
Okay.
Because how could we lose square footage?
Yeah, no. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I think I might have to go back and look again.
Yeah,
okay. So they added a fourth floor, updated everything, replaced furnishing, repainted.
Yeah. And they made the large room into 4 different rooms. So instead of a session starting every 2 hours, they could start it every half hour.
Yes. Much more efficient. Yeah. And they added some ceiling rooms. And then they did an open house that was only 1 week. Okay. And they still got 55,000 people in.
Okay, it was only 1 week.
They ran a campaign that was like, this building has only been opened once in 1958. Yep. And it's going to be open for this week if you want to come see it. Yeah. And 55,000 people came.
That's amazing.
I think so. And then also, well, do you have more about that? They added in Moroni.
Yeah, in 2008.
2008. It was the 50-year anniversary. So that's nice. New mission offices were also added.
Yeah, and they have a place there for people to stay. That's nice. Like, I think even currently, if you go to the temple at least one session, you can stay there overnight.
Hey, that's nice.
So,
because it isn't super easy to get to. Like I said, if I were a predicting person, I would say that we will see a temple in London sometime. There's so this visitor center at this temple closed due to inaction.
Right, and they moved it.
So there's one in central London at the Hyde Park Chapel.
Yes.
I could absolutely see them buying a building or renovating that Hyde Park Chapel and turning it into a temple.
Okay, that would be interesting.
That's a little prediction.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, my niece was called to that mission.
Really?
But then 2020.
Oh, shoot.
And then she had her mission in Winnipeg. But that is where she met her husband.
Oh, well, that does happen. That's for a good...
Shout out, Victoria.
Anyway.
So, I have a couple of experiences. Like, are we done with the...
Well, let me do some what's in the region.
Okay.
Because there's no temple nicknames here. Sorry.
Yeah, just London, England.
London Temple. In the region, you've got the Preston Temple open. The Birmingham Temple is going to have a groundbreaking.
Okay.
Like in March.
Nice.
Dublin and Edinburgh are in planning stages.
I forgot they were doing one in Edinburgh.
Yeah. That's all the temples in the UK.
Okay.
I think there should be more, but we'll get there.
Okay. Cool.
This temple serves members from 19 states in southern England and Midlands and Wales.
Mm-hmm.
So, nice. Here we go. Okay, give me some of what you got.
Kind of like you said, that the temple's a little bit hard to get to. So people would come and do their own endowments, but then they wouldn't keep coming back to do more work.
Yeah.
Just because it was hard to get to. It wasn't easy, and it's on the weekdays.
And it's not something they're used to doing.
Right. They weren't used to doing that. And it would take like 2 hours to get there. So they couldn't really go on a weekday. Anyways, I guess the temple president came up with the idea of a golden age program. And they're paying an allowance to senior citizens who would spend time in the temple performing endowments and other ordinances.
That's interesting. Paying somebody to go to the temple. Or is it like reimbursing them for travel expenses? We don't know how much they were paid. It's just like, here's something for your time.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense for the travel to get there, and
because you would have to take a car.
Yes.
There's no other way to get there.
Yes. So,
but still kind of odd.
They're trying to get this.
It's the first time we've heard of this.
And he went I think he went around England to try and
recruit.
Yes, and to just tell people, come back and keep coming. And I think that's another reason why they probably have places to stay there to help people to. And so people would come. There were members from 3 branches in Ireland who spent a whole week there. So they said, come. And instead of going on your vacation to the ocean, come and spend time at the temple. Anyways, these people in the week completed ordinances for 500 of their ancestors.
Wow.
So in their time busy. There.
That's a good goal though. Like let's make it worth our time.
And they said on their journey home seemed to drag because, as one member reflected, it was like leaving heaven and returning to earth.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a love for the temple. I think it wasn't it was hard to get to, and they weren't used to coming all the time. So
it wasn't something they're used to doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like they encouraged just now to go.
We're only 15 minutes away.
Okay, one more story because this one's kind of cool. Because at this point, there's London and there's Bern, and
that's it.
Yeah. And so there was a couple from Ghana that traveled by freighter, and let's see. Oh yeah, traveled to the temple by taxi, train, and on foot. And then when they finally arrived Saturday afternoon, their joy of seeing the temple turned to despair when they learned it was closed. And it wouldn't reopen until Tuesday after they would be back on their ship, headed for home. And they broke down and cried, which, yeah. So when the temple president, this is a nice name, Arthur Henry King.
Oh, that is nice. I like that.
What a great name. Anyways, he learned about their situation and he quickly gathered some temple workers and saints together and organized a special session, and the couple received their endowment and sealing blessings.
I love that story.
Yeah.
Also, the current president of the London Temple is Ghanaian.
From Ghana? That's how you say that? Yeah. Ghanaian? Okay.
I think. I'm not Ghanaian. But anyway.
Ghanaian?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, that's...
Side note. He's from Ghana? Cool.
Yeah. He and his wife,
fun.
and they're the temple president.
Well, and that just reminds us that there were people all over that part of the world that had to travel like so hard and really wanted access.
We don't know what year that was either. So.
No, I guess we don't. Maybe we could look up when the temple president was Arthur Henry King.
Arthur Henry King, 1986 to 1988.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Our stats and facts. The announcement came August 10th, 1953, and the site was dedicated at that time as well by David O. McKay. Groundbreaking was August 27th, 1955. The public open house was in the fall, August and September 1958. The dedication was September 7th through 9th, 1958 by David O. McKay. And then the renovation open house, so the new open house was only October 8th through the 14th. It was just 1 week.
I hope yeah. Let's do that longer.
Yeah.
Maybe they do that now. Yeah. At least 2 weeks.
That was 1992.
Okay.
And then rededicated October 1992 by Gordon B. Hinckley. Nice. So 32 acres. And we talked about the exterior. 4 instruction rooms, 8 sealing rooms, and 1 baptistry. I like how we have to say 1 baptistry now, because sometimes it's gonna bump up. Originally, it was 34,000 square feet, and now it is 42,652 square feet, and it's 156 feet tall with a Moroni since 2008.
Yep.
I think it's really pretty. I like the copper spire.
Yeah.
Hey, Janelle, did
you find anything about the oxen? We didn't even talk about the oxen.
I don't know anything about art inside of this building. I think there is a mural in the baptistry. I saw one old picture of that. I'll put it in the Instagram, but I don't know anything.
There's not much.
I'm assuming Millard Mallon had something to do with this because Edward Anderson is the architect, same as with the other 4. So it's a little disappointing.
Yeah, and
we'll keep updating if we find out more, I guess.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that this was part of the dedicatory prayer.
Okay.
And from the first time. And I just kind of liked it. Any with gloomy forebodings or heavy hearts enter, may they depart with their burdens light and their faith increased. If any have envy or bitterness in their hearts, may such feelings be replaced by self-searching and forgiveness. May all who come within these sacred walls feel a peaceful, hallowed influence. 'Cause, O Lord, that even people who pass the grounds or view the temple from afar may lift their eyes from the groveling things of sordid life and look up to thee and acknowledge thy providence.
That's very nice. I think that sounds familiar to something else we read.
Yeah, the one about may lift their eyes from the groveling things of sordid life. Yeah. That was like from last time.
Yeah.
But it was, wasn't it David O. McKay? Yeah, I think he reused it. But I just love that, leave things behind and replace them with peace.
Yes.
And even people on the grounds, and which the grounds are very beautiful with the pond. I think it was called something, it wasn't called the Garden of Eden.
Oh, there's a little brook running through it, and it was called Eden.
Okay.
Yeah, little river.
And like their grounds have been in like books that say this is a really beautiful place.
I believe it. I mean, if there's one thing we know how to do, it's grounds.
Yes. And so I think it was already beautiful, and they kept it up looking beautiful. So
I think that's great. And I think it's a good draw. They did try to get people to come, like when they were trying to keep the visitor center alive, they were like, come do a garden tour.
Yeah.
And they tried to get groups to come do garden tours, but ultimately they ended up closing the visitor center.
Yeah.
There's a distribution center next door.
Yeah.
Anyway, good job.
The temple is a place where we can lose our bad feelings and gain peaceful, happy feelings, yes. Which is what I experience when I go.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I haven't been in a while. I need to go. And then I keep remembering, like, we did it in Idaho Falls and I did it at another place. Like, I just haven't been to my temple in a while.
Yeah, okay.
Except for taking kids to do baptisms. I do that a lot.
Nice. That is also temple service.
I sure hope so. It should count for something.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for being with us as we discuss the London, England temple. If you have more stories about this or another temple, please share it with us on our Instagram and Facebook pages at Every Temple Podcast. And if you learned something, please share this podcast with a friend. We will see you in the next episode where we will talk about the Oakland, California temple.
Yay.
Yay. If you want to learn more about why we build temples and the role they play in our religion, please visit churchofjesuschrist.org/temples. We are not sponsored by or affiliated with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.